Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation on our fourth grade before school intramural program at Roeslleville Elementary School, located in South Colony. My name is Patty Bailey, and this is going to be about a 15-minute presentation about what happened in our program. The overview, we're going to talk about Roeslleville, why it's so important to me, and why we did the program there. The details of the program we're going to assess, we're going to analyze, and we're going to recommend for the future. First off, Roeslleville Elementary School is located in the South Colony Central School District. How Roeslleville came to be in my life, it is where I student taught 2 years ago. I taught my elementary placement there, and I have not left other than subbing. I've done long-term leaves there. So I decided to do my program there as well. We have about 430 students, 50 staff members. We have one full-time physical educator and one traveling physical educator who's there for about 2 hours a day. It is 10 classes a day at 30 minutes a pop. Students have physical education 4 times in a 6-day span. And this is a high-needs school socioeconomically. We have a high percentage, I believe it's over 50, maybe even 60%, free or reduced lunch. And we have a lot of students who come from broken homes and etc. The basis of the program. This program was to provide a CSPAP plan for the school. As you can see on the left, CSPAP includes all of those parts on the outside. It was to provide students with the opportunity for physical activity outside of their regular PE, to give students an active start to their day. A lot of students are coming in right after sleep, to get them going before the day and to expose students to new types of physical activity that they may have never tried before. Enrollment and activities for the program. There were 65 total 4th graders at Roeslleville, 21 enrolled in the program, so that's just under about 34%. There's 8 boys and 13 girls enrolled in the program. The enrollment was a little low for me, but at the same time, you have to understand that with the district and with the school that we're in, some students couldn't make it, whether it was accessibility-wise, some parents didn't want their students to come, etc., etc. And we had 6 weeks of program, 4 different activities during those 6 weeks. The first week is adventure activities. We had students participate in 3 different activities: Coach's Island, Ski Trip, and the Turtleback Walk. Each activity required students to not only work with a partner, but also to work with larger groups. As you can see, we have some examples of students here on our left collecting their quote-unquote trophy for completing the activity and taking their trophy photo. Students had a lot of fun with this week, and during the first week, we had about 15 kids show up. So when we got to our 21, it was because the students that came to this week really vouched for the program and how much fun they had, so they came in the second week. Week 2 is gymnastics. During gymnastics, we wanted to practice safety rolls. We had tumbling mats to practice handstands and cartwheels and round-offs. And we also had a learning handstand station, which is in the back. As you can see, this is a still frame on the right. Where those chairs are, those are some step-down safety rolls for students. And then on the tumbling mat, students can practice their handstand walks or their cartwheels. So we'll play this quick video so you guys can see.
Oh, good try, kid.
So as you can see, this week gave students a safe opportunity to practice maybe new skills. It was completely challenged by choice, whereas the first week students had to go to every station. Students during this week could practice what they liked and what they wanted to learn. Week 3, it's called Risk Reward, or Show Me the Money is the name of the activity. In this activity, students would run around the gym and collect fish. For every lap they ran, they would get 1 fish. Their partner and themselves would have the opportunity to either keep the fish by keep running, or to come to the middle and play rock, paper, scissors. They could say, "Coach, I want to play rock, paper, scissors for 1 or 2 fish." They find somebody else that wants to play for 1 or 2 fish, and they play rock, paper, scissors. The winner gets all the fish, the loser gets none. So I really wanted to focus on the effective domain of physical activity for this session, and students really responded to that. They said, we talked about at the end how it felt to risk and win, or how it felt to risk and lose. And we talked about big risks, little risks, and reward. And students really were open to this, which was an awesome week for us. Weeks 4 through 6, OzTag. For those of you that are familiar with me, I'm a big rugby guy. This is a activity that I have picked up in the last 2 years. I'm a big sponsor of. This is a fast-paced game that I think we should be teaching to all our students throughout elementary in any school in the United States in 4th and 5th and 6th grade. This can be a game that students love. We spent about 2 weeks learning skills, flag grabbing, passing, because students obviously don't have any prior experience with rugby. In the 3rd week, we did modified gameplay. Students wanted this unit to keep going the whole time, but we limited it to 3 weeks because those were our final 3 weeks of the program. Students did an awesome job of learning and cooperating with one another to get better in the certain skills. So that was what our program was. Now we're going to evaluate and reflect. We're going to observe the student data, we're going to evaluate the program, and we're going to discuss future plans for sustainability. Student data survey. So, students were given this survey at the end. We had, our last week was right before April break, so we had 14 total students come to that session. We had about 5 who had already left for vacation that week, and they were given the directions on the survey. If they had any other questions, they could also ask. There's a simple rating scale for each of the 4 activities that we did, and then some qualitative questions that they could answer, so I could get a little bit of a better scope on what they thought. So here's the data analysis. These are each of the 4 charts. So for instance, OzTag at the top, we had 8 students like and 5 students somewhat like. So out of the 14 there, 13 at least somewhat liked it and were enjoying it, where someone even somewhat disliked. Gymnastics was probably our most spread out. We had half the group like. We know this is a very female-dominated group, so we know where that stands. We had 4 dislike. A lot of those were boys, and I think a lot of them were just frustrated that they couldn't do some of the activities, whereas if that had been a 2 or 3 week unit, we would have gotten a couple more likes. Show Me the Money was a very popular activity. Again, we had 12 of the 14 like or somewhat like that. And Adventure Activities was all 14 liked or somewhat liked the activity. So Adventure Activities, OzTag, and Show Me the Money were very, very popular amongst our students. The data analysis. So I said we were going to get some qualitative data as well. So students enjoyed the social aspects and psychomotor. Students were given the opportunity to say things they would have changed. So for instance, we have a couple quotes. I enjoyed all the fun activities before school and getting exercise, which was one of our goals. We had one student say that she learned a lot during gymnastics. That is always what we want to see, as well as students having fun and being active. That learning factor was something that was huge in this program. One suggestion was more days, more often. I'm sure you can see that in the big print. Students really enjoyed the program, and they liked the social aspect. I enjoyed hanging out with my friends and having fun. This program laid the basis for future programs to continue the success. So we're going to evaluate. Overall, I thought the program was great based on the student data. You know, student support was high. All of the 4th grade staff that was involved getting students there on Wednesdays was great. Some improvements that I'd like to do is I'd like to have higher enrollment. If students could get there earlier, I'd love to have longer session length, and I'd love to have a longer program rather than a 6-week program. I'd like to have a fall program that is 10 weeks or 12 weeks, and then same thing with a spring program with different activities and more enrollment. This is our group of students. They show up on the last day. They are great, obviously, and they were very excited, yet sad that the program was over. So these were our short-term goals for the program: to provide physical activity for students, give students means to try new types of physical activities, and to bring students and community together through constructive physical activity. Well, I think 2 of the 3 were majorly accomplished. We provided students with outside physical activity. You know, students were there for 40 minutes every Wednesday for 6 weeks. That's a big extra step, especially on Wednesdays. We gave students new types of activities. Students who had never done rugby before was all of them. Students, I believe there was 5 or 6 that were gymnastics based, but the rest didn't really have much other than maybe a basis laid in PE. So we gave students the means to try new things and to enjoy those new things and bring students in the community together. I think we brought the school community together through the program. The fourth graders were very interested in it. The teachers were very interested in it. The administrators even were interested in it. So I think that next step for the short-term goal is to bring in those outside community factors as well. The long-term goals of this program. Foster a lasting relationship between the students of Roeslleville and physical activity. From what I can say while I was there during my 7 weeks, I think this is already something that is very prevalent. And I think some of the students that came to the program have found new things that they can also enjoy for their lifetime. The second thing is to provide evidence to the principal and other school leaders to get funding for future intramural programs. Now, this is tough because I'm not the full-time physical educator at Roeslleville. However, I do believe that I have provided enough evidence, and we'll get to that on the next slide, about the success and the hype behind this intramural program. And third, utilize the success of the program to partner with outside organizations. This is still something that is in the works. This is still something that will take a year or two. Will take another full and longer session to complete. I believe if I can get the word out about the program to places like Flight Trampoline Park or even a local bowling alley, I believe they'll be completely supportive about taking on this CSPAT program and helping out and letting us know that they are there. So I want to read a quick letter to you that one of my students wrote without my knowledge. I actually just found out 2 weeks ago that she wrote this letter to the principal. And this is something that had a lasting effect on my view of the program, but also her view of the program. It says, "Dear Ms. Tedesco," this is dated March 23rd. Me and the other fourth graders would like to ask you to keep the Roeslleville fourth grade intramural program going for next year. Also, the fourth graders would appreciate it if Coach Bailey could do the same program in Sand Creek. Sand Creek is the middle school for Colony, for those of you. We, the fourth graders, believe this was a really fun program, and we would like the future fourth graders to enjoy it also. Also, we would like the program in Sand Creek because we would like to enjoy it next year, and so would the other Sand Creek students can enjoy it as well. Sincerely, Roeslleville fourth grader, Danica Silva. Danica reached out without my knowledge, and this is really awesome. She wants the program to continue not only for her and her friends, but she also wants the third graders for this year to enjoy it as well, which means the long-term success of this program can be there if we push for it. Suggestions for future sustainability. We're going to advertise next year. If we run this program, when we run this program, we are going to get the word out early in the year. We are going to get enrollment way up. We are going to get enrollment over, if there are 75 fourth graders next year, I want over 50%, so we want over 40 students. What that requires, though, is our second step is that we have to recruit support from students and teachers inside the building. We have to get teachers that would like to be there and help. We have to get parents that would like to be there and help. We have to get these teachers to say to their students, you know, we have a math test coming up Wednesday. You should get to the program and get active before and get your mind moving. Provide these teachers with the means to help not only my program grow, but then to help them academically on the backside. And third is to reach out to parents and community to increase the success of the program. With more parents involved, you're going to have more success. If we can get students, parents involved and get them to come, oh, hey, come see the program, come watch it, come watch what we're doing. Same thing that I talked about with the community. If we can reach out and get a bowling alley involved or get any type of outside organization to come in and maybe teach a lesson or us to go to them, I think that would very much benefit our program. Thank you very much for sitting through this presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. The Roeslleville program will hopefully continue next year, and I thank you so much for listening. Have a nice day.